Byakuya Kuchiki returns, but he doesn't steal Rukia's thunder, in my review of Bleach, chapter 569. Color me impressed, Kubo. I thought you were going to pull a fast one on us and make Byakuya be the one who was going to finish off Asnot. But this was a surprising chapter, and it's also a chapter that's going to go down in Bleach history and be quite monumental, because this is the very first time in the series that Rukia will have used the Bankai ability. It is the Hakka no Togame, and essentially it results in this massive pillar explosion, which I'm assuming will be ice related, but still, there's a lot of build up to it. But I think the best thing about this week's chapter is getting to see Asnot go completely insane and turn into this massive hulking grotesque creature, which is unlike anything that I've seen in Bleach so far. And when you can consider all of the nightmare fuel looking creatures that we've seen in the series, that's quite an accomplishment. But really, when Byakuya walks in, he just destroys the entire, fear area, destroying all of the eyeballs and piercing them and ripping them to pieces. And essentially, he starts to get to Asnot and get under his skin, and that's when he just erupts, and you can see, there's blood exploding out of his body. There's this one great panel where it almost seems like Byakuya attacked him, but this is actually when he's going through his massive transformation, and when you actually get to see it in full for the very first time in this one massive spread, it looks grotesque and awesome. The only way I can describe it is just as a massive zombie that's just constantly rotting. And just little details, I like the fact that his old torso is actually hanging off his massive zombie-like chin. His eyeballs are melting out of his skull. He just looks freaky as hell, but this is really all just a front. Essentially, what they're seeing is actually Asnot's fear for the very first time. And essentially, maybe this is just a metaphor that Byakuya is trying to lay down on us. But it just results in giving us an excuse to see Rukia tear this guy up. And I really love that Byakuya actually gave permission to Rukia. And it was very adorable and funny, the scene where Byakuya actually recognized Rukia becoming stronger. She was very, very happy to hear that. And really, the chapter just sort of ends with Rukia destroying this guy, probably with her brand new Bankai, the Hakka no Togame, which, it's not really too crazy. It's not like we haven't seen massive explosions and pillars of light in the series before. But it's still pretty impressive, and they'll probably pick up on it a little bit more next week, how destructive it really is and what it's fully capable of. But otherwise, another pretty good chapter of Bleach that moved by pretty quick, but was saved by some really awesome artwork, particularly the stuff from Asnot. If there's one thing that Kubo can do, it's create some very interesting, disgusting, and scary villains. And almost all of them have been that way, and the series sort of started that way too, with the Hollows being creepy as hell and everything, and that's been one of the themes that I wish that Bleach would run with a little bit more, because it really has the possibility to be sort of like a combination shonen horror series. And I guess you could kind of call it that if you want, but I still feel that it hasn't really lived up to that full potential yet. But you can see it in this week's chapter. It just looked absolutely fantastic, and I loved every second of it. And I'm a huge Rukia fan, so I'm very happy that she finally got a Bankai. She is now on captain level, which I think is pretty damn awesome. I love Rukia even more now. I just want to see more from this technique and really what it's capable of. And again, Byakuya, I don't hate you anymore, just for letting Rukia do this. I never really hated you before. You just sort of got under my skin. But still, pretty class act. But now that you're back, I still want to see you fight against somebody, so I still think there's going to be an excuse to use Byakuya in an action scene, and let us not forget about all of the main characters who have been absent for so long, such as Ichigo, the main character, Uryu, Ishida, freaking all of his buddies that are hanging out, Urahara, what's going on with them? By the way, whose sword was that who helped Urahara? What the fuck? Why are we leaving that on such a cliffhanger? It's just like the barefooted person in Naruto. But I just got really angry and went off on a strange tangent. But I'm going to give this chapter a 9 out of 10, just because I really loved it. I loved all of the artwork, and I loved finally seeing Rukia use her Bankai, and Byakuya didn't completely steal the chapter, which was something I wasn't expecting. So 9 out of 10, check it out. If you're following the chapters, definitely check this one out. So if you guys had a chance to check out this week's chapter of Bleach, it is time to let me know what you thought about it. Were you excited to see Rukia use her brand new Bankai? And what did you think of the crazy grotesque transformations from Asnot? You can let me know with your comments below. And remember guys, before you leave, hit that like button, give this video a thumbs up. Definitely one of the best ways to support our videos, and it's really one of the easiest. And you can check out some of the other videos that we've been working on. I'll put links to those in the description box below. So, I'll see you next time guys. Super Kami Guru 9000, out.